I would have been 2, 4, 5, 6.
State of the Save is back. We promised we would be back, and look at us living up to our commitments, unlike our previous history would say.
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
That's a record for this new era.
This is a committed relationship as a podcast now, 2 in a row. Yes, my name is Eric. With me is Michael. Welcome back to State of the Save 2.0. Well, we are here to discuss some video games, video game news, and video game adjacent topics. Michael, how you been doing?
I've been doing good.
I've also been doing good, Michael. It's a Sunday when we're recording, so we're all coming off of the weekend, getting back into the swing of things. Looking forward to talking and podcasting and all that fun stuff. Michael, before we get into the games that we had played, and if you're not familiar, if you didn't check out last episode, the new format of the show now is that we are going to be kind of doing like a game trade where we'll each hand each other a video game, say this is the game you're going to play for the show for this week, and then we'll discuss it when we come back. Kind of a change in things the way they used to be done, but a lot more sustainable.
This format, playing this game that you lent me, brought me back to when I would rent games again.
With a Blockbuster or podcast.
Yeah, with a Blockbuster or podcast. We're bringing that back. I have 2 weeks to spend as much time as I want to spend with this game before it needs to go back.
I think it's also going to open up a lot more conversations about games that we couldn't talk about in the old format. Because the old format was very driven by what can you complete and what is good to talk about as like a complete package. Mm-hmm. Not something like risky was like, hey, try this game, see if you like it. You know, I like this kind of philosophy.
Yeah.
We're going to see how it goes as we progress. But before we do that, let's talk about some video game other stuff. Some stuff that we've been doing and playing. Michael, you've been having some video game stuff going on. What do you want to talk about?
I have. So, Nintendo's been dropping a bunch of directs, I believe, leading up to something. They always do something big in September where they announce the rest of their slate. They did a partner showcase, which was like, had a couple things in there. They had an indie showcase, which brought out a game that I've been waiting for to come to the Switch for a very, very long time. And by very, very long time, I mean a year. But if it's something you want and it's existing only on PC, you're like, no, I need that to come to Switch. Please come to Switch. And it finally did. UFO 50.
Okay.
Do you know anything about UFO 50?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so... Oh, that's a lot of fun then. So UFO 50 is from the Mossmouth, the developer of Spelunky.
I do know some Spelunky.
And this is their very ambitious project that took... I think they've been working on this game since like 2017.
Damn. Because
it is a compilation game. In that the story of the game is that the developers of Mossmouth uncovered a lost video game console from a developer that existed from 1982 to 1989 and then didn't make any more games after that. So this is their version of calling back to an Action 52.
Damn.
If you know what that is, it was a NES and Sega Genesis game that was like $200. That was like, you get 52 games with $200.
That's a hell of a deal, Michael.
It was the ultimate pitch for parents being like, I never have to buy you a game for an entire year. So yeah, we'll get you Action 52. And spoiler alert, Action 52 was terrible.
It was basically like glorified like copies, correct? Wasn't there a lot of stuff that was like, this is Tetris.
Like 15
this is like a
spaceship
slightly...
shooters.
Yeah.
Here's a worse Pac-Man. Here's a worse Mario.
Here's like Snake or something.
Yes.
Like, you know, it's that kind of stuff. It was not actually fully developed games.
So Mossmouth asked the question, what if Action 52 was good?
Okay.
What if Action 52 was great?
Because you have a competent developer doing 52 games
that they've slaved away for 7 years to develop all of these games. So what is presented to you is a fake gaming system boot up for a system called the LX, the LX1, the LX2, and the LX3, developed by a company that you see they start out basically making games as in the fiction of the game, making games as a side project for this company, and then became a company called UFO Soft. And you see their logos change as you go throughout the years. and their development styles change. There's recurring characters that'll appear in like game 5, that'll appear in like game 15. That's a completely different game. It is a universe of games created, of 50 games, I want to emphasize. And these aren't mini games. These are full games for the era, the NES. Like you can beat some of these games in an hour, but there is a 15-hour JRPG on this thing.
Goddamn.
That is tied to the same world as one of my favorite games called Rail Heist, which is a stealth turn-based Metal Gear Solid on this thing, where you are working for a train robberies and you gotta rob the train, but it's turn-based, so you have 10 seconds to move, and then all the other, like, the patrols, the lawmen on this train are patrolling at that time, so it's like a turn-based. So Rail Heist is one I highly recommend. But there's also a terminal where you can go in and learn the fake history of these games and the fake developers. You can see where people have dropped off. You can see where there's a horror game on this thing, a horror point-and-click game that was like, yeah, he was a coder, but he decided to direct this game. And it's basically a point-and-click version of Resident Evil 7.
Damn.
It is the most ambitious thing
I need to play this video game.
I've ever played. I think it's on everything now. I don't know if it's just on Switch. It might be on everything. Here's the best part. $25.
Fucking sold.
$25 for 50 games. It sounds like it's incredible, and I don't want to spoil a lot of the games on here because a lot of the fun is being like, what's next?
I don't. I'm at this weird point right now where I would prefer you not to tell me any more games that's on there. Like, you've told me enough.
I'm going to tell a couple because there's some that are like really, really fun that I think I want to emphasize the ones that I've been playing a lot.
Yeah.
But the discovery is the fun. What I'm doing now is I touched all 50 for about 10 to 15 minutes each. Flagged my favorites, and now I'm just going and beating my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Including a fake game from fake 1985 called Party House.
Okay.
Party House is a deck builder where you are letting people into the party, but if enough troublemakers show up, the cops show up. So you want to add to your 1980s Rolodex people you want to invite to the party, and there's a chance they'll show up at the door. The goal is to invite prestigious guests to the party invite 4 prestigious guests to the party, but in order to do that, you need popular guests. Sometimes popular guests bring a troublemaking friend. Sometimes popular guests take a lot of money. They take money to be there, like a stand-up comedian will take $1 of money to be there. This is like a deck builder that if they ever spun out to its own $15 game, I'd be like, sold.
And this is like in like a 1980s style.
1980s style
presentation.
Yes.
Are we getting like parody characters and stuff? Like, is the comedian like, I don't know, Jerry Seinfeld or something?
He looks Jerry Seinfeld adjacent, but it's not like a straight up parody.
Okay.
These are very lovingly crafted, where even games I don't vibe with, I'm like, hey, they went for something here. There's like one I want to like more than I do Bushido Ball, which is like sword fighting Windjammers.
Okay. We got Windjammer talk. I'm happy.
I'm really addicted to Quibble Racing, which is a horse betting game where you bet on alien races, and you see the odds split. You bet on you and two computer players. There's also multiplayer. There's a lot of multiplayer functionality on this thing too, where you have 3 Quibbles, like little alien dudes that run this race. You can see their odds and their statistics of of how likely they are to win the race. You can bet on them, but you can also you can pay money to protect him, make sure no one can sabotage him. You can drug the other opponents. You know, like Blitz the League?
Yeah.
It's like Blitz the League, but horse racing.
Which is amazing, because if you don't know, Blitz the League is a wonderful video game.
Yes.
But you don't have to have any interest in sports to love Blitz the League.
Oh, fantastic game.
But this is really like blowing my way, because I did not know anything about this.
It was only on PC for last year, so the only people I've heard about it from were like the gaming podcasts I listened to, like really deep into.
Wait, there's other gaming podcasts?
Yeah. Well, we're not the only one.
What?
I know.
Michael, you told me we were special.
We are special.
I was the best, right? We're past the 5-minute opening. We can start busting out that kind of content. But no, generally, I did not know anything about this, and now I am very, very excited. Like, this sounds like something right up my alley.
It's Game of the Year material.
Damn.
Because there's no 10 out of 10 masterpieces on this thing. There's a lot of 8s. There's a lot of 9s. It's
I stand by.
Not that I've seen, but I could dive into something that makes me. I haven't touched the 15-hour RPG yet.
Yeah, I mean,
I touched on that, realized what it was, and they're like, "How long is this thing?" And went, "What are you talking about?" This is game 4. This is game 39 of 50 in this thing.
I know you said that there's like some like fake developer information, like you can do that. Is there some like overarching like meta commentary, or is this just like, we found this thing, check it out?
Not that I've seen. Not to say it's not there, because there's so much depth to this. There's
like,
so much going on. You can activate like cheats. There's a Game Genie-esque terminal in this thing where you can like. I haven't touched that stuff yet.
Okay. Because what's that game? The card game. I played a bunch of it. Inception.
Oh, Inscription.
Inscription had some of that where there was like an overarching. There was the game, and then there's this overarching like developer point of view story that's going on as well. I don't want to get too much into it because it does kind of spoil some stuff. But I always thought that stuff was really interesting when you start seeing like. You know, it kind of had like the haunted game kind of thing going on. But I mean, that's impressive, the amount of time they spent. I mean, you said they've been working on it since about 2017.
Well, about 7 years of development.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make that much content. And also, I imagine it requires a lot of. Now that you said the games are kind of like Nintendo style games.
Yeah,
but
NES
still.
Games, but like,
you're doing a lot of like sprite walk and things like that. I gotta check this thing out. I'm excited.
It was fun looking up after playing all of them to see what people's favorites were, and realizing I had a couple favorites with the community. Like Party House was one that really took off, and that's one every time I boot it up, I'm like, I'll just play some Party House. And then an hour passed, I'm like, why do I keep playing Party House?
Well, also like, what a weird way to like test your community. Because like you put these 52 games out there, you see what people like kind of connect with, and as a developer, you're like, okay, these are ideas we could expand on later. You know, it's like, oh, people really dug this.
Yes, I would if they spun off, if they made Party House a bigger game, I would be there day one.
Party House 2.0.
Party House 2.0, exactly. What if it was made in the 90s with like Super Nintendo aesthetics or something like that? It's a miracle of an indie game. I adore this so much. So
I am
highly recommend it to anyone out there. UFO 50, $25, an instantaneous like good value for your system, especially if you're looking for stuff indies on the Switch too. This is the one.
Also, what a good Switch game. Yeah, like, this is a game you can sit in your bed at night and play on the Switch. I don't think you lose anything.
When I've heard that it was a good Steam Deck game, I'm like, please come to the Switch. Please, you have to be doing something.
Yeah, I think that sounds really cool. I'm excited to come on the show today and then walk away with a new recommendation.
I think it's also on the Switch One as well. I mean, they're like standard Nintendo games, so you might be able to get this on the Switch One as well.
Yeah, I imagine.
I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure.
I too have a video game I would like to recommend. Mine's a little bit more mainstream. Battlefield Beta. Battlefield 6 beta was on last weekend. What a fascinating turn of events.
Are we so back?
We are back. Like, listen. I was a huge Battlefield guy. Like Battlefield 2, my jam. Battlefield. I wasn't a Battlefield 1942 or Vietnam guy. I was Battlefield 2 is when I kind of got into it. And then, I followed it through Bad Company 1 and 2, Battlefield 3 and 4, couple of the spin-offs. When you start hitting things like Battlefield Hardline is when I was like, this is not good. Let's not play this.
Had really fun random reload animations in Hardline, though, don't you know?
Yeah, I mean, they got good Easter eggs, but you know what's not fun? Playing as cops. Take that information for what you would, listener. But no, like I did not really connect to any of those games. Battlefield 2142, I had hopes for, and then when it came out, I was just severely disappointed. I even tried to go back to it. I believe at the beginning of this year, I tried to be like, what's going on? Like the last one I really liked was like Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was really good.
I really like Battlefield 1. I think I ended up playing the beta for that more than the main game.
I played a lot of Battlefield 1. I really dug it.
I didn't like the single player in that game.
Oh yeah, it had like a really cool like the different vignettes of like the different spots of the war. Battlefield has always done some weird stuff with the single player. I will say the Battlefield, the Return to World War II one that they did, there was like World War II, but World War II like weird.
Battlefield 5?
I think it was Battlefield 5. That one was not bad. I thought it was okay. I played more of it than I probably should have, to be honest with you. But it wasn't mind-blowing. It wasn't special, I guess is the way to put it. Battlefield 6 beta comes out. Everybody's all hyped for it. I missed the first weekend because I just had so much going on. Second weekend comes on. Okay, bam, let's play some Battlefield. That thing's really, really good.
That's great to hear.
I've been thinking about it a lot. I like the fact that the maps that they showed off are a lot more smaller than they've been in the past. Like they're like a lot more city fights focused. One of them takes place in a Middle Eastern city. One of them took place in like Brooklyn.
Okay.
There is some really, really just smart stuff with like how the class system has been streamlined a lot. It's a 4-class game now. I really like gunplay feels good. Though obviously there's some stuff that needs to be fixed on, like, there's some overpowered weapons. The shotgun is a goddamn sniper rifle, just dropping fools halfway down the street. But in all, it's a really, really good showing. It's fascinating also how excited people get from what is basically a very straightforward multiplayer presentation. So, from a first-person shooter like fan point, right? We were in this point where everything was battle passes and season passes and battle royales and this, that, and the other. This is a very straightforward multiplayer presentation. They've shown off a little bit of their like battle pass, but it's like it doesn't seem to be wild and crazy. You're not got Beavis and Butthead running around.
I saw that going around.
And it's just fascinating how like this very straightforward, straight up multiplayer presentation has just like made people so excited again. Because I feel like we pushed the needle way too far to the right, where we were just like foots on the gas. Everything is like
Nicki Minaj,
Snoop Dogg. It's the Call of Duty effect primarily. Call of Duty did this, where it's like everything is just insane. Here's Seth Rogen.
Things you can do in Fortnite doesn't really gel with Call of Duty.
Yes,
exactly.
And Battlefield doing a more grounded presentation, really connected with people, and it also helps that the game feels really freaking good. Like, there's so many just little small like matter of fact life improvements that I really like about it. I really, really dug the map design. I dug the destructive kind of, Bad Company. If you remember like Bad Company 1 and 2, it was a big, big deal how much destructive environments there was. And like, hey man, sometimes it feels really, really fun to shoot a tank at a building and watch the whole building come down. Like it just feels good. Like the destructive, capabilities of everything. I believe it's on their new engine. So it's running on a new engine. Just feels good, looks good. I'm excited for it. I'm a little bit concerned with a couple of just little aspects for me. I need some more customizing options for the UI. I had a hard time picking the enemy out of the environment.
It was sort of a different problem than what Battlefield 2042 had in the beta, where you couldn't tell your enemies from your allies.
Yeah. I had a hard time picking things out of the background. Okay. And I can't tell if that's just because I'm old or if that's just because maybe the UI needs something else to help with that. But if I had more time, I didn't really go mess around with a lot of the settings because I was just trying to get reps in, get games in, get my vibe down, see how I feel.
I got this for 2 days. I need to.
Yeah. So I didn't really do a lot of that stuff. But I'm excited for it. I think that it's going to be on the list of my purchases this year. Maybe a day one purchase because it does feel good. It's been a while since I've had an FPS that I've really connected with. Like I've fiddled with everything, but it's been a while since something came out that feels really, really good for me. I am not a super fan of like the simulation first person shooters, like the Mill Sims. Like the Hell Let Loose.
Yeah.
I want to like those games. I have tried to like those games, but it's just I have too much ADHD, man, and running for 20 minutes just to get in a firefight and get killed and then have to run for 20
By a
more
guy
minutes.
you couldn't see.
By a guy I couldn't see. Like, Hell Let Loose showed off that they're going to do Hell Let Loose Vietnam. And, like, in theory, that looks cool as hell. But I know my ADHD is not going to let me enjoy it as much as I want to. Same thing with Ready or Not. Like, everybody's talking about that one right now. I looked at it.
That's like a spiritual successor to like the SWAT PS or the PC games.
And listen, it looks good. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
It looks good. But I just, man, I'm not that guy. I got the ADHD bad. I come from Halo, and I come from the fast paced kind of first person shooters. The only other one this year that's really connected with me is Splitgate 2, and that was very much like a flash in the pan, where it's like 3 weeks. Splitgate 2 is all I played, and then it's like and it's gone. But I'm really excited for Battlefield 6. I think it looks really, really good. Just don't drop the ball and you'll be fine.
I had a feeling this was coming because a buddy of mine at work got into the alpha. He loves Battlefield. He got into the alpha, the closed alpha, the very tight window for Battlefield 6, and he was like, I think this one's going to be good. I think this one's going to be really good. And as a Battlefield fan who hasn't played since Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4, I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah. It's probably good. But then seeing like explode into this way,
I mean, listen,
where it was the beta for Battlefield 6 was more popular on Steam. I know you can't really go by Steam charts as like a matter of fact, like objective thing, but the fact that it was doing more than Call of Duty says, oh no, the audience is looking for something like this. It's hitting in a way that nothing really has in a very long time.
Well, I think it has such it's got so many like quality of life improvements, like basic stuff like, hey, spawn on a guy. Now you have like almost like a GoPro style camera angle of them, so you can check things out before you spawn on your squad mate. There was the whole like medic stuff now where you can drag people as you heal them.
Oh.
Like, yeah. So
that's awesome.
As you heal someone, if you're not doing it with a defibrillator, which is instantaneous, you actually pick them up, like you pull on them. So you pull them as you heal. And so like this sounds like a really basic thing, but if someone got like shot in a location, probably not a good idea to just stay in that location. Being able to move them away from where they got hit is, I can't tell you the number of times like in normal Battlefield games I wouldn't been able to revive somebody or wouldn't even tried, because I'm like, no, this is like a doorway, they're just going to shoot me through the door. And instead you grab them and you pull them away from the door and you heal them as you go, and then they back up and running. And it's also because it has such a good cinematic feel to it, it encourages you to do it. Like I was a lot more prone to make those like desperate runs to grab a buddy than I was before, because it's like, well, now I can grab them, like pull them down the street trying to save them. Gunplay feels really, really good. Like I said, simple class system, so it's only 4 now. So like support is basically what used to be like your machine gun class and the medic class combined.
Yeah.
Assault's assault. Engineer is engineer and rocket, and anti-tank, and then sniper is sniper. But like that was kind of like the Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, the console version.
Yeah.
Class system.
Yeah.
So like Battlefield 2 had like, I believe like 6 or 7 classes. But like the console version only had like 4. It was like Spec Ops, Assault, Support, and Sniper. And Engineer, it was 5. But like that simple class system, it's very customizable. So it looks like from Support, like, hey, if you want to be more of a medic, you can do some more class stuff. With the Assault has like basically like you can flex into like a grenade guy, or more of like a close quarters thing. It feels good. I'm excited for it. I'm excited that it's got people up and ready to play some Battlefield. It's weird to be excited about an EA game.
Forgot
I could do that.
Versus cautious optimism, like, there's a new Dragon Age. Maybe it'll be good.
Maybe. Man, I tried to go back to Veilguard since our last conversation. It just did not work. I tried, brother. I tried. But yeah, Battlefield 6 beta, very, very exciting. Yeah, we're back, baby. We're back. Games are coming out. Michael. Next week, Metal Gear Solid Delta. Gears of War Remastered is coming out next week, I believe. We have Battlefield 6 coming. We have what's some other stuff? Ninja Gaiden's coming out this year.
That's another next week one.
It's in October.
No, Ninja Gaiden. Oh wait, Ninja Gaiden. I was thinking of Ninja Gaiden and Rage Bound.
Oh,
which is the side-scrolling one, which is out. That's right. There's another Ninja Gaiden game.
There's another Ninja Gaiden.
They proclaimed the year of the ninja, and how right they were, because also there's a new Shinobi game coming out next week. So.
Shinobi's back. Ninja Gaiden Black 2 was out beginning of this year. That's one of my favorite games I played this year. That thing's amazing. And then, like I said, we got a new Ninja Gaiden this year. It's a good year for video games.
Yes.
Before we go into talking about our games that we traded last week, are you excited about Metal Gear Solid Delta? We and you are both Metal Gear Solid people.
I'm excited. I'm not going to get it day one. I've seen a lot of stuff from it that... I'm going to sound like such a fanboy. I've seen this stuff from it that just... It's a standard remaster. $70 seems a little bit steep for me at this time for a remaster of Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm sure it is like great. There's a bunch of Easter eggs from the original, all the Easter eggs from the original Subsistence release they kept. There's a way to go back to their original style. I'm just like, it's a little too steep for me at the moment, so I'm just gonna wait on it.
I totally think that's fair. Mm-hmm. I will say that I like Metal Gear Solid 3 a lot. Hey, there's a show on this network. You could go back on our podcast feed and listen to us talk about that game. But a smoother playing Metal Gear Solid 3 that looks better is the only thing I want.
I'm worried that is going to be another Twin Snake situation where if you add too much to the core game, it just becomes easier. And I'm sure you can crank up the difficulty to sort of mitigate that, but it's just... I want to see when players get their hands on it, what they say about it. If they're like, I beat this game in like 5 hours less than I already have. Because just the quality of life stuff really took away some of those barriers. And some of the barriers to like the survival mechanics and stuff is stuff that I really, really like from 3.
I think, and this just might be like a difference in like how we approach the game. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're wrong. But I think I never want difficulty to be a thing that I feel like it's being manufactured due to the limitations of the mechanics.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes when I play Metal Gear Solid 3, I feel like the difficulty comes from the limitations of the mechanics, not from my own skill level. Does that make any sense?
There's an obtusiveness to the Metal Gear Solid trilogy that I embrace and absolutely love.
Yeah.
So...
And you are 100% valid in that statement.
Thank you.
I think that for me,
yes,
sometimes I'm like, boy, I know what I want to do here, but, you know, the weirdness of how Metal Gear Solid 3 feels is preventing me from doing it. And, like, that kind of is what I would love to
just watch this
get away.
20-minute video on the basics of CQC. And it will all make sense.
Yeah, that 1 hour fucking... I stand by. I still get so damn mad at that speeches at the beginning of just, will you shut the hell up?
Well, those speeches are going to be intact.
I know, but at least now it's prettier to look at. But, no, I kind of compare it to, like, the Resident Evil 2 situation. Now, I know that's more of a reimagining. Yeah. But, like... I feel better if the mechanics are not what's stopping me. It's the difficulty of the game itself. So, like, I would probably just say, hey, I'll crank it up on difficulty now that it's a better playing experience. Like, little things. Like, I know, like, now, like, the camo system is, like, something that's, like, it's not a menu anymore. You can just click on it and, like, do it on the fly.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's a win.
That's
a win,
that's
boys.
Very good.
If I don't have to be going to menus every 20 minutes to be like, well, now I'm in some grass.
It keeps you engaged in the fun.
Yeah, I would rather be able to just lean against the wall and be like, now I'm in my orange camo because it's a brick wall, and over here I'm in this, you know. So I'm excited for it. I'm if funds are there, boy, I might get that thing.
I'm really excited to hear what. There's a guy at work, another guy I work with. This man is in his 60s. Loves Metal Gear Solid 5. Has not played any other Metal Gear Solid game. loves Metal Gear Solid 5 because of the freedom that the exploration it does. He did not care a lick about the story. He's like, I pre-ordered Metal Gear Solid Delta of Snake Eater. I'm really excited. I was like, I don't think you know what you're getting into, buddy.
I feel like
he might end up loving it, but I was like, this is a very, very, very different game, and I hope, please tell me you understand that.
I hope he enjoys it. I hope he
enjoys
doesn't get turned off by the first wave of just info dumping that happens.
That's what's good. But there is a lot of info dumping and a lot of slow movement at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 5. There's a lot of crawling around, not really having full control over Snake.
Yeah, because Snake is injured, and there's all the... Like,
there
is more story at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 5 than there is once you get past, like, the first 3 hours.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that was another thing. I finally beat Metal Gear Solid 5 over the hiatus.
Hey, congratulations!
So I did it. Thank you.
That game is good.
It's a very good game.
I
stand by that I'm disappointed from a Metal Gear Solid story perspective, but as a stealth playing game, it's one of the best ever.
It's the best feeling Metal Gear game, in my opinion. I love the feel of that game. Like the experience of landing in a location and going on a stealth mission feels really, really good.
And then extracting out.
It
takes elements of what I like from Hitman and puts it into Metal Gear Solid. And I really, really like that stuff. I like sneaking into an airfield and just extracting everybody from the Fultons. But that's not what this game is, and I'm really excited to hear the 60-year-old man's perspective on the Metal Gear Solid series.
I mean,
if it was Peace Walker next, he'd be having a similar time. Be like, well, it's a lot more linear structure. It's like, well, it was a portable game, right?
Yeah.
To go from the least story to
the most story.
The second most story, I would say.
4 is the most story.
Oh.
You know what, though? Metal Gear Solid 3 was my first Metal Gear, so it worked for me.
And if it takes the barriers for someone like him to enjoy it, and I probably see this as an absolute win, I'm just really excited to see what he says come 2 weeks from now when he's like, I don't know. Why is everyone talking to me?
No one was
I do not want to learn the basics of CQC and
You
philosophy.
will learn the basics of CQC, goddammit. Like,
tomorrow's enemies are today's allies or something.
Hey, have you seen Godzilla? No, I would like to save right now. Yeah, I know you want to save, but what about the Day After Tomorrow movie? He's like, well, you shut the fuck up, paramedic.
James Bond. Remember the movie that we're definitely using as a pastiche?
Us? Inspired by movies?
What?
Metal Gear Solid? Kojima? Never.
Here's the opening theme. Climb this ladder. Yeah, climb the ladder.
Climb that fucking ladder. I am so excited.
In actuality, I can't see why he would hate it in a game that has a ladder that cool. That's just
pretty
him.
cool.
That's
if he makes it to the ladder, he's fine.
Yeah.
If he's that committed to get to the... I mean, that's about midway through that game.
Oh, the one boss fight I can see being very, very much elevated by the new mechanics is the end boss fight. I bet that is amazing.
Ooh, that would be good.
Like camo sequence.
I could see the fear being really good as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that one's like that ambush scene where he's got all the traps and stuff, and I just think that would be pretty cool.
Okay.
There's good stuff here. I mean, I'm thinking about because the bosses are the main attraction in that game.
You can change the color grading back to the piss filter, and I like I'm a piss filter defender. I like that yellow smudgy piss filter.
You like that piss filter?
I didn't like it when they took it from Human Revolution. I didn't like it when they took it from Metal Gear Solid 3.
There's always that one person, Michael. Michael, you want to talk about the video games that we gave each other?
Yes.
You want to go first?
Yes.
Hit me up.
Project Snowblind took me back to a time where I would rent video games and play the hell out of them for a weekend.
That's how I discovered Project Snowblind.
And I was unsure about this for the first 2 or 3 missions. I'm like, okay, it just seems like a standard shooter. It's not really doing anything. And then I got to a mission in a parking garage.
Oh, yeah.
That I'm like, oh, this feels like the most Deus Ex-y that this game gets. You have the ice pick, which is a hacking tool that you can use to shoot robots. And as long as you're not alerted, you can control that robot and cause a whole mess of confusion while you sneak around. Mm-hmm. You can steal a car and just drive through the entire level as fast as humanly possible. You can use stealth, quote unquote. I am using quotation marks for the stealth in this video game because it is very much like a suggestion.
Yeah.
You don't have any stealth options besides...
You have a silenced pistol.
You have a silenced pistol, but they will immediately notice you when you try to shoot them anywhere other than the head. It stun locks them.
Yeah.
And they'll turn to you and just not say anything as you riddle them with 7 bullets as then they hit the ground.
It's fucking good.
It is good. But you'd also have the like invisibility move and everything that you could, but there's no... This game is like one neck snap away from being like... from having like the stealth actually like feel really good.
Yeah, because I don't even... it's been a while. Does the melee instantly kill them in stealth? Because I think if you hit them from behind, it kills them.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
It is a very slow wind up for that punch,
it's like a punch
when you do it. But I've only used it when I'm like, when everything hits the fan and I just run up to them and like punch them 2 times. And no matter, that punch seems like no matter how tough they are, they go down. But if you're punching somebody, you're probably getting shot at from a million different directions.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this is a game that feels, I don't know for sure because there's not a lot on the development of this game besides the fact that this was a Deus Ex game at one point. This game reeks of like a troubled development, but somehow came to the other side strong. The story makes no freaking sense.
No, I described it as like a Black Hawk Down kind of thing because like they're trying to escape.
There's warring factions, the Republic versus the Carmine. And I'm like, if this was a Deus Ex spinoff, you would be saying like FEMA and the Illuminati.
Yeah,
they just slap different names. The inconsistent tone of this narrative is hilarious.
Yes.
Going from, war is hell, we don't know we're going to make it out alive, to being like, hey, man. When they rebuilt you, that was the other thing that blew my mind. When they rebuilt you, they forgot to turn on the shielding, and they made a big deal. So this military guy just hits a button on your back and goes, well, now you got the shielding. I was
mid-battle.
Mid-battle.
Like, you find him, he's like, oh, man, I can't believe they forgot to turn on your shielding. Here you go, buddy.
Commander Chung, best character.
Best character
in the game.
Awesome, dude.
Love it. And to the point where it ends with like a scroll of, these are all of the members that tragically died on this mission. Cut to loud blaring music for the credits and then taking you back to the start screen. I went, what was that?
I believe it's like a memorial is even showing.
It's a memorial.
Everyone that died.
It's showing all the graves of the soldiers that died on this mission.
You have moments where it's like, oh man, we're all getting slaughtered in this like bad assault and everything's going south. And then you have moments like this guy has a giant robot arm. He's kicking doors in, blowing people up. The game it's such a fascinating game of its time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, I'm not going to say Project Snowblind is a 10 out of 10 classic. I am going to say it's a fun fucking video game.
This is a video game as video game.
It's a video game as video game.
I'm very glad I finally played this.
As a Deus Ex fan.
Yes.
Do you feel like it does, and you said that it does, have from a gameplay point of view kind of do it. Does it, scratch any of the itches of a Deus Ex game from like a aesthetic point of view?
A little bit.
Because it does have some
little bit.
of it.
There is some of this game that works its way into Human Revolution in a lot of ways, like using the ability to see through walls and be able to track where people is so you can sneak around, using the ice pick to hack your way into terminals and everything. Now, once you get into the terminal, it's just turn off.
Yeah.
I like that there's a hacking mechanic in the game. I also like that there is a point in one of the missions of this game. It's like, we're being counter-hacked. And it's just a guy on a terminal hitting buttons. I was like, he's just, as you open the door, he's instantly shutting the door.
Yeah.
That was just a really funny bit. But it's like, well, we gotta kill the guy. He's like, he's hacking us. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's just hitting a button on this terminal way over here.
It's like when you're on the elevator and you're just holding the shut the door.
Yeah,
button.
I was like, oh, this asshole's hitting the door shut button.
Doing. The weapons feel fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a damn good game.
The weapons I have, for half of them, I do not know what they do, but they seem to put people down instantly. Like, I'm thinking of like the big laser gun that like shoots out in spurts. when you hit the alternate fire of it, it makes like a cloud of these things that like sort of seek out people.
Yeah, I think it's like a
they went down. It doesn't really feel like you're doing anything, but I shot it in a hallway with like 10 dudes. I came back around and they were all dead.
It's almost
so
like a
that
cloud of like
worked.
nanobots or something.
Yeah.
I think is what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Also, my favorite mission in this game is ironically the sewer level. The sewer level in this game is really cool.
That's like the horror level. Almost.
Yeah, because you get down there, all the enemies are invisible. So you got to rely. This game, whenever you're like in like big firefights and everything, it kind of becomes overload because you have so many abilities. They drop so many abilities on you. So many grenades that you're like, I don't know. These are humanoid, but they're robots. So do I throw a flash grenade or do I throw an EMP grenade? I don't know which grenade to do, so I'm just going to end up shooting them. So, or just throwing them and hoping for the best. You know what? A good frag grenade hurts everybody.
Yeah,
we're gonna do frag grenade. I like the fact that you can like when you throw, you can hit the button to make the grenade drop down.
Yeah,
like, dunk and explode. That stuff is cool.
Like so, you throw it over the cover and then you make it drop right like on them basically.
Yeah.
Instead of having to lob it in the right way. Also, like weird grenades. Like there's like a cover grenade that you throw out and gives you like a little shield. There's a gas grenade, I believe.
I could never get the shield one to work because it would always throw way too far and it end up helping the enemies more than it's helping me. So I was like, I'm just not going to deal with that. But to go back to the horror level, I like my favorite missions in this game are ones that pick an ability and just say, this is the one that's going to optimize you. Big firefight levels, the shield will help you with shield combo with the spider bots.
Yeah,
because the spider bots will just make a distraction. You just run up and like shoot these guys in a hallway.
Assault rifle with grenade launcher goes
assault
boom.
Rifle, grenade launcher, boom, boom, boom with the spider bots and the shielding. The stealth level the sewer level relies on you like seeing the enemies in their environments and taking them out with that sniper rifle, or setting traps for when they come to you, like setting just knowing where they're going to come at you from and being prepared with like your grenades
or the mine thing. Don't you have
the mine? That's right, the mine launcher. Any game with a mine launcher is a good video game. We need more mine launchers.
Mine launchers are fun.
Don't ask me what the alternate fire on that thing does.
I think it's like it's been so long.
It shot a thing, but I could never the standard.
That's kind of like my favorite thing about that game though is every gun has like a regular gun function. Then a weird function.
Sometimes they make sense with the gun. Assault rifle with grenade launcher. Boom, boom, boom. Pistol, you hit the button and it does a charge shot. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Then you got the what's the regular gun that like shoots out the nanobots is one thing I was talking about too.
There's the shotgun. Doesn't it have like a what's the shotgun?
It shoots an EMP blast. But I could never get that to do more damage than with just a regular shotgun. And if I'm fighting an enemy that does do EMP blasts, it's most likely those big robots. So I'm going to be shooting rocket launchers at them.
Yeah, those are not really a shotgun target. But no, that one of the reasons why I wanted you to play it is that it's so jam-packed with stuff.
Yes.
Like it feels like when you said it was like a trouble development is what you kind of picture it as. I see what you're talking about. Because it has just so many items in it. Like, so many things to do. Do you need 20 different grenades? No. Do you need all the powers? No. Most of them are useless. Do you need all the guns with all the alternate fires? No. But are they there? Yes!
You fight the final boss of this game 2/3 of the way in.
Yeah, because that's where you get the electric power.
That's where you get the electric power. That's where you fight like that's where you fight this big dude. Don't ask me what.
He's the general.
The general, of course, the general. Yes, who's like that was a fun boss fight because he's like jumping around to all these crates and everything. So you're using the like seeing eye ability to like as he's going on like top of these large crates. You have enemies that pop in, but they're not super overwhelming. That was a really fun boss fight. I think that happens at the end of like this 2-part sewer level.
Yeah.
Thing.
The sewer level is like heading towards the end of the game.
Yes. Also, all the missions of this game follow a similar structure. Get from point A to point B. You have 1 or 2 save points in there. I like that there's always a room with the save point logo on, and you just walk down these stairs. I was like, it could have just been its own separate room. You're making me do like extra walking to get there, but I kind of love it. Sometimes you have to like scale up and like crawl through a vent to get to where the save point is, but it always has health. But with each of these missions still following like a similar structure, like you almost don't. There was only a couple times I had to look back and see what my objectives were, and there wasn't always, but occasionally they had like a secondary one, which would just give you a different gun.
Yeah, most of the time it was like, here's a new gun. That game is fun, man. I stand by. It's very underrated. I don't know how many people talk about or still think about Project Snowblind, but you get what I mean when I say it's a game very much of the time. It's a B game that doesn't usually exist anymore.
And I was like, this takes me back to renting a game that was cool on the cover from Blockbuster. I seen this cover before, and I almost rented this game several times before getting distracted with something else. Because I was like, maybe it'll be good. It looks like a time splitter. I like Time Splitter.
It's very much similar kind of vibe.
It's very similar to it is a similar vibe to like Time Splitters. But Time Splitters knew what tone it was going for, whereas this Project Snowblind has no clue of what.
Listen, man, sometimes it's a big anime game, sometimes it's Black Hawk Down, sometimes. Anything else you want to say on Project Snowblind?
Thank you for making me play this.
I'm glad you played it.
I had a ton of fun with Project Snowblind, and it's not a game I would go back to. I made a post on Backlogged about it because I'm trying to log every game I play now, and I was like, this is a game you rent for the weekend, and occasionally you remember fondly going, man, that was a time. And I'm going to look back on this game occasionally being like, that game was trying.
I would love if this gets like a random like re-release. Like, you know, it'd be nice if somebody
Night Dive,
help me out. Do it for me, Night Dive. Do it for me.
I think they would sooner do the original Deus Ex games first.
Shut up, Night Dive. Do Project Snowblind.
Project Snowblind.
Don't be a pussy. I had a different kind of game.
Yes.
Now I did not finish my game because it's a very, very long.
It's a very long game.
Final Fantasy 13? 15. Oh my god, why is I said 13? I'm an idiot. No, Final Fantasy 15. I played a pretty good amount of this. I like this game a lot.
Really?
I am shocked. Final Fantasy is not a series I have really any experience with. JRPGs are not usually my jam. But this game is... I like the tone of this game, and I like the world in which this game takes place. Mm-hmm. So... I have a couple of things I want to kind of target first. Setting a game around a road trip is an ingenious idea. In the beginning of the game, when the road trip is very lighthearted, I was already kind of invested. I was like, hey, this is not bad. I could take, because the game starts off with you going on basically a road trip as you're going to marry, your character is a prince of a kingdom. He's marrying a princess of another kingdom as like a peace treaty.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's just like, hey, we're driving. We're going to go meet her to go do this deal.
You're taking your best longtime friends along with you.
It's like it's a bachelor party.
Yeah.
And then obviously that does not happen the way you think it will.
Hijinks ensue.
Hijinks ensue. Betrayals happen. And now it's a whole nother kind of becoming basically you become king of this now defunct country because you've been taken over, but it becomes more serious.
You got to remember why you are important to begin with.
Yes.
It becomes a journey of self-discovery,
which is kind of actually really interesting because we'll get there in a second. The cast is great. They are the Ninja Turtles.
Yes, I was hoping you would pick up on that.
They are just the Ninja Turtles. You have Michelangelo, you have Raphael, you have Leonardo, you have basically Donatello.
We'll talk.
I would make the argument maybe you are Leonardo.
Yeah.
You're less confident Leonardo.
Yeah, Ignis kind of fills the dual row of Leonardo and Donatello. When we talk about the characters, Ignis is my boy. He's always looking out for you. He's your number two.
Yeah, he's your
guy who's like, we can't drive out at night. It's just so you know, you can do it, but look, I'm not going to be that guy, but we'll do whatever you want to do. Basically, your advisor being like, and so you'll be like, no, but maybe driving at night's not a bad idea. It makes it your idea.
Yeah. I really like also the mechanic of the car is not something that at first I was like, is this going to be taxing? To have to keep track of the fuel and all this stuff. Nah, man, it's pretty straightforward. It's, it's not hard to remember to put some gas in the tank. It's not hard to do the auto drive if you want to. I can't tell you, most of the time I'll do auto drive to the mission because there's good like story beats and stuff. And because the world is really interesting and unique, it's actually kind of nice to just pan the camera around and watch things and not have to focus on doing the driving. The idea of a fantasy world that is very much like modern, like everyone is very like relatively dresses modern, but has the background of giant dragons and everybody, and you have the Final Fantasy like big sword guys and stuff, but then everyone else is just like wearing t-shirts and stuff. I really like that. I love the aesthetic of I love even the it has the worst way to introduce you to a video game ever because it forces you to do the boringest tutorial I've ever done in a video game. Whereas you hit go and now you just sit in a room and get talked to like it's school for 20 minutes.
By a cat.
By a cat, which is fine, but the cat doesn't even have it's just a terrible introduction to a game. And I was like, God damn it, Michael. I was so upset. But then once you get into the game itself and you have this great sequence when you're pushing the car because you're out of gas.
Set to Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Covered by Florence and the Machine.
It's great. It's great. I really came around and ended up liking this. I actually like the combat system.
I do like the combat system too.
I like the kind of building up the meter basically for the big super moves that you guys can pull.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy is what it is.
It really is, which that's another good video game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy thing where you're basically, I'm just taking guys out just so I can do the big super move and smack them, do like a
team up attacks,
moves. Yeah. And then also there's like little subtle ones, like if you jump them from behind, you can get a team up move or something going. There's all sorts of stuff. Really, really good. I like this game a lot. Michael, apparently people didn't like this one as much.
Yes.
So is it because it does have such a more different aesthetic? Is this aesthetic that much different than the other Final Fantasies?
Speaking of products of a troubled development cycle, Final Fantasy 15 is the most contentious development of the entire Final Fantasy series. This was going to be tied into the world of Final Fantasy 13. It was going to be called Final Fantasy Versus 13. Then it got stripped away to become its own thing. And Final Fantasy 15 was supposed to be this big, giant cross-media event, right? That had tie-in movies, a tie-in anime prequel about the friends and where they are before the becoming of the game. There's a novel that wraps up the events of this game because the DLC got canceled. So they made a book to wrap up the post-game story. And you actually saw a little bit of the movie.
There's a weird sequence. When the big twist happens.
Yes.
Right? So you go from, it's spoilers, but not spoilers. When you go from...
It's the first 2 hours or something.
When you're going from it's just a fun bachelor party to while you're gone, the betrayal of the kingdom that you're trying to bring peace to happens and your father gets killed and gets overthrown by the evil kingdom and this, that, and the other. When that happens, it's not a silent, but there's just some music and all of it is this really extremely well done animated film look. And I remember at first being like, what the fuck happened? Did my sound cut out? Because there's people talking, but it's got the music just going and nothing's going on. And then this thing is of a different quality of animation than what the rest of the game has been at this point. And I'm like, what is this sequence here? Did we get a trailer for another game mid-game or something? What is
You got a trailer for a movie mid-game.
Yeah, and then I talked to you and you're like, yeah, man, that's the movie.
Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive? Let me find out exactly what it's called because I don't want to mess up. Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, Kingsglaive is a movie starring the voice talents of Sean Bean, Lena Headey, and Aaron Paul.
Wait, run that by me again.
Sean Bean, Aaron Paul, Lena Headey in this movie that you saw a clip of without actually seeing the silent trailer you watched for Kingsglaive.
What a weird way What a weird way to do what is a major portion of the story in this game.
Yes.
This is the driving force of what happens in the next part of the rest of this game.
The rest of this game
is
centers on that.
The betrayal has happened, your father gets killed, and like the game is like you get a phone call basically, or you read in the paper that you're like, oh crap, my kingdom fell last night. I got to go back. And like
it makes sense from like Noctis's perspective of this is how he would receive the news of it happening. But to have a giant cutscene pulled from a simultaneous, that's where the frustrations come from. That's where people see this as an incomplete. This is the Metal Gear Solid 5 of the Final Fantasy series. A game that is like went through massive development hell, change-ups, was going to be this massive multimedia event, and then is just like, well, here's the game with DLCs, here's a movie with Aaron Paul, here's a multiplayer expansion. Go.
What year was this released?
2016.
That makes sense. There was this weird time in games where everything had to be bigger than just a video game.
Yep.
And I could see that being frustrating. I mean, it was jarring. Like, don't get me wrong, because I was sitting there watching, like, the cutscene cuts to it, and I was like, okay, did the sound go out? Because people are talking and I'm not hearing anything. And then it's like, this is a big deal. Like, all these guys are getting killed and betrayal, and like, I also there's a different look to it. Like, it doesn't look the same. Like,
the color grading is like more gold and black.
Yeah, and even like all the characters look a lot more like traditional Final Fantasy looking than like the rest of the game where everyone's wearing like t-shirts and stuff.
Yep.
I was like, this is not the same world. Is this like an alternate universe or something? And it was very weird. No, people are right. That is jarring as hell and not something I enjoyed. But from what I've played of the game, after that point, it's a cool kind of like I actually do like the twist of being like, oh, hey, your little party is over. It's now time to start piecing things back together. You're going to have to become, you were a prince, remember? Like, life was all carefree a couple of days ago, but now you're the king. Like, you're what's left of this country's king. You know, start figuring that out.
So now people will start reacting to you differently because, oh my god, the king is in this area.
Yeah, before you were treated very much like, this is the kid. You know, whatever. You're just, go do your thing, buddy. We'll see you in a few decades.
Go get married. Have a fun time.
Have fun time.
Oh, man,
yeah.
It's gonna
but
be
now
great.
it's like, and also like all the advisors and stuff are coming out of the woodwork. You know, like you like are meeting people who are like who escaped this. You know, the overthrowment of the country. Nah, game is fun. I enjoy it. I think I'm gonna keep kind of fiddling with it. To be honest with you.
Yeah. There's also the contention. There is a point of this game where it drops the open world and goes linear for a few chapters, and that destroys the pacing of this thing. So there is a lot of contention with Final Fantasy 15. I really like this game, but I'll be the first to admit it is an unfinished mess of a thing. But
not having that context.
Yeah.
Much
like just oh, it's a road trip adventure.
Much like your 60-year-old co-worker.
Yep.
If you jump into Metal Gear Solid 5 without knowing what Metal Gear Solid is, and you're like, this is a great video game, you don't know what it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like I feel the same way about this. Well, I don't know what it could have been, so I'm just enjoying it for what it is.
That's why this was the first one I finished. Because it's a 30-hour adventure with 4 friends, and that's what kept me going because I love those characters. Ignis is still, I have a folder on my Chrome where I put all my recipes in it. I come up with a new recipe. My favorite thing in this game is whenever you pick what food at the camp and he's just thinking and then he's got it and just does a snap like, I got it.
I like, from a combat point of view, I like how all 3 of them have I actually just had a guest character show up not long ago with me. He's like the head of the royal guard kind of guy.
Yeah,
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's one of the first guys you meet post fall. And I like that feeling when you're in a big fight against some mech robots or something, and you're about to lose, and then you pull off a cool team move and take the thing down and break it, and so you can hit it when it's vulnerable or get a potion in or something. I really enjoyed this game. I think it's very good. I'm excited. It's a good choice from you because it's a game I probably wouldn't have picked up if it wasn't for the fact that you said, "Hey, let's play it for the show."
Yeah.
So I like it, man.
This is a game that
dig
I
it.
would not get you to play otherwise, and be like, no, I promise you will appreciate this one.
Yeah.
At least for the first few hours.
I like it.
I think there'll be a point where you drop off, but the vibe here at the beginning of the game is immaculate, and I love spending time with all four of those guys.
Also, Final Fantasy 15, they hot on the mechanic lady.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, don't be old boy, man. Don't be like, oh yeah, okay.
No, I mean, like, from the game point of view, it's like, yeah, that's
Fine. They're like, hey man, what's up? I was like, hey man,
that cannot be safe to be around power tools wearing that.
Listen, I've seen those movies before. Let's go. But no, I dig it. I mean, I really like it a lot. What games are we playing next time?
Next time. So, I'm taking you back to the Xbox 360.
The best system.
The best system for this game.
Not for this game, for in life, Michael.
Yeah, no.
It was a better time. It was a simpler time.
All right. This was a time where Call of Duty was reigning supreme. Japanese games were struggling over here in America. So this was the time of the great, we're going to take some of our classic franchises and try to make them more like Call of Duty and Gears of War. Sometimes you get a great game. Sometimes you get vanquished. Sometimes you get Front Mission Evolved.
What? First of all, Vanquish is a great game.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Sometimes you get a Vanquish, which is great.
The way you worded that, I was like, are we talking shit about Vanquish
No.
right now? Because I would come across this table.
Sometimes it turns out great. Sometimes you get a Vanquish. Sometimes it goes bad and you get Front Mission Evolved.
Okay.
This is a game that I personally love.
Okay.
I think this game kicks so much ass.
All right.
But fans of the series still hate this thing. Someone brings it up going, I like it, and they'll tell you why you're wrong.
Okay.
This is the second lowest rated game in the series. It reviewed well.
Okay.
But fans have, like, completely trashed this over the years. I love this game. This is more of a sanity check to be like, am I the crazy one? I need someone to come in here and confirm if I'm crazy or if everyone else is wrong.
Let's go.
Do you have a guess?
No, I'm completely in the dark right now.
Your guess is, your game is time to make metal bleed. Ace Combat Assault Horizon.
Oh my god, I don't even know what to do right here. Okay, let me see this game. I always like that we have the physical game here. This is insanity.
Yes. A game in which your plane has regenerating health.
Fuck yeah, let's bring this plane back to life. This is the most Xbox 360 cover I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god, this game.
Oh my god. I'm so excited.
Are you ready to learn about DFM dogfight mode? Because this game was made for stupid Americans.
Okay, I'm excited. Let's play some fucking Ace Combat Assault Horizon. Listen. I understand. No, I don't. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm so excited. This cover, though, is the most early 2000s ass cover I have ever seen in my life. What's aesthetics? Fuck aesthetics.
Look up the cover for Ace Combat Assault Horizon, but it's two guys, gruff military dudes standing back to back as explosions are happening and you see a bunch of fighter jets. This is a game that takes the Ace Combat series from the strange reel to the real world. You're not in Eurasia or Belkia anymore. You're at Miami.
Let's go fight in Miami. Hell yeah. Let's go.
This is a game that is so off the wall insane. I absolutely love it. And I'm surprised that the turnaround of, this game is actually good hasn't happened yet. So I'm having an identity crisis I need you to help me with.
Okay.
Am I insane? Or is there something awesome happening here?
Okay. We're going to play some Ace Combat Assault Horizon to see what happens.
Yes, you are.
I'm very excited.
It's time to make metal bleed.
Is there a metalcore song at the beginning of this game?
Not that I know of. They did sort of that in the Ace Combat series before with Ace Combat 5, where a Puddle of Mud song was like the main theme of that game. Can you take it all away?
No, please not.
So
Please not. Let's not sing
in-
No Puddle of
so
Mud.
arguably, we were already heading in that direction.
So
But-
maybe this is the natural evolution
Evolution
of Ace Combat. Maybe the fans are wrong. Oh, that would be great for the subreddit.
Hi, Ace Combat subreddit. The other thing is, what I like about this is some of the stuff from this game, the more fast-paced arcadey feel would wrap its way back around to when the series comes back for Ace Combat 7. And I was like, this game was ahead of the curve in a lot of ways.
Well, sometimes, like, weirdly enough...
You can drift a plane in 7. I'm like, this is...
Weirdly
Like,
enough, though,
we were
sometimes
headed
you
that
need
way.
these kind of levels of, like, dramatic changes to put a game back right.
Yes.
Does that make any sense? Because, like, a series can be consistently good and become extremely stale. And you almost need this, like, wild, off-the-wall thing.
It could be so much worse.
That's kind of a weird segue
Yeah.
into the franchise you're going to be playing.
Okay.
So
one more thing I want to say,
Yes.
though. There was a spin-off game for the 3DS called Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy, and it was a remake of the fan favorite Ace Combat 2. They took a previous game and roped it in to the Assault Horizon umbrella. So there's a lot of negativity with this thing.
That's just designed to piss off people.
Okay.
Much like the franchise that you're going to be playing, which is one of my favorite franchises, I have a theory you may have already played this game.
Okay.
But I want you to play it if you haven't, so tell me if you haven't. What's one of my favorite franchises in video games, Michael?
Resident Evil?
Yes.
Okay, I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Okay. Remember, Resident Evil also had to have a crappy Xbox 360 game to get things set right, which was Resident Evil 6, which you're not having to play, because I wouldn't do that to you, because I like you too much. Fuck Resident Evil 6. It's a horrible video. I tried to play that this year, because I was like, I'll go back to Resident Evil 6, see how I feel about it. I hate that damn video game. The Leon campaign is okay. The Chris campaign is damn boring as shit. But I digress. Michael, Resident Evil has many spin-offs. One of them I did not play until last year. And it was originally on the 3DS, I believe.
Okay.
Your game is Resident Evil Revelations.
Yes.
Have you played Revelations?
I have not played Revelations.
Hell yes. Okay. Boy, howdy. Resident Evil Revelations was a game that I did a bunch of playthroughs of some Resident Evil games. I played Resident Evil 8. I replayed Resident Evil 5. I was just kind of jumping around. And Revelations was like $2 on a sale. So I was like, it's a Jill Chris game. I like Jill and Chris. Let's see. I had low expectations. Resident Evil Revelations is really fucking good, man. It's really good. It's got a weird cast, but it weirdly feels very classic Resident Evil to me, while having like the Resident Evil 5 style gunplay. It also does a lot of weird stuff with the 3DS mechanics of like searching the environment to find things. So you can play this on modern consoles. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation.
Yeah.
But there's like a mechanic that involves like zooming into the environment almost like with like a camera mode and searching the environment for things.
Is this a Metroid?
Sort of.
Is this a Metroid
sort
Prime?
And you find like, ammo and stuff like that with that way. It also is like a weirdly important like step in the Resident Evil storyline to help explain what Jill and Chris were doing. Because if you remember, after Resident Evil 3, like, you don't see Jill again.
Until 5.
Until 5. You don't see Chris again until 5, and there's not a lot of explanation of what they were doing. Because there is the Resident Evil DLC for 5, which is like the Jill and Chris.
Yeah.
It's like a return to Resident Evil 1 style kind of thing where you're in the mansion. Which is very cool, by the way. Have you ever played that?
Which one?
The DLC for Resident Evil 5?
I've not even played 5.
That is insanity. Resident Evil 5 is not as bad as you'd think it is. Resident Evil 5 is not as good as 4 by any means of the imagination. But Resident Evil 5 is a good co-op game.
Of the mainline series, I haven't played 5 or 6.
Don't play 6. Yeah, but 5 is... Here's the thing. 5 gets a bad rap.
Okay.
Does 5 have some, like... Is 5 more like an action game? Yes. But it still is really good. And there's some cool moments in 5. The Wesker boss fights are really fun, man. I'm sure you've seen the meme.
I've seen the meme.
Of like, I've got 10 minutes. But like, dude, that thing's fun. That's iconic.
Complete
really...
global saturation.
Yeah, dude, it's good. Shiva should pop back up in that franchise. I mean, I don't know what happened to her. She disappears.
Just put everyone in 9. Just put everyone in 9.
9. I'm so excited for
It'll
that.
be so good.
I'm so excited for
I'm
9.
not watching a thing about
No,
it.
no, I'm not. Yeah, I don't. You don't need to sell me on that.
Mhm.
I'm sold, bro. I'm sold. But no, Resident Evil Revelations. I'm excited you have not played it. I think you will be incredibly surprised at how good it is.
I do have access to this game. I think I'm gonna play the original 3DS release of this thing.
It would probably not be a bad idea because using it, the mechanic is used a lot where you zoom in and look through the environment to find things.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly how it plays on the 3DS because I played it on the Xbox, but I imagine it would be very useful to have. So I'm excited you haven't played that. Resident Evil Revelations is your game for next week.
I had a feeling it was
For
this
next
one. The clues you gave me were that it was 3DS and that it was also on everything else, but it was a 3DS game first. So my two guesses were he's either going to make me play Resident Evil Revelations or he's going to make me play Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight, I've never played Shovel Knight. I probably would like Shovel Knight.
Yeah, I think we'd like that too.
Yeah, but no, I think Resident Evil Revelations is going to be fun. I'm excited you haven't played it.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
That's our show for the week. Go on there, comment, engage, give us 5 stars, tell your friends. We're trying to get this thing back up and running. Sponsorship. Once again, like I said, next show we'll talk Ace Combat, Assault Horizon, and Resident Evil Revelations because we like talking about the weirdest games you forgot about.
Exactly.
It's State of the Saves, bread and butter, boys and girls. Have a good one. Stay safe out there.